Welcome to the Grace Period, where we get real about attorney mental health and well-being and pull back the veil on the high-stakes world of big law. I'm your host, Emily Logan Stedman. In this demanding profession, it is crucial that we don't lose ourselves in the hustle for billable hours. On the Grace Period, we have honest conversations about finding consistency, minimizing chaos, developing coping strategies, and destigmatizing mental health. It is time to prioritize our shared humanity, to find our grace period. This is the second trailer for season 2 of my podcast, The Grace Period. Season 2 will premiere on September 24th. But before then, I wanted to share a little bit about me. Who is Emily Logan Stedman? I was born and raised in a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, Marietta, for those that might be familiar. My mom was a first-year law student, or 1L, when I was born. My early and surprise arrival actually interrupted her spring final exams, and my dad was already practicing law in insurance. My birth announcement is actually a joke about them welcoming their newest associate. Stedman and Stedman welcome their newest associate. It's true. It's not a lie. And I have my birth announcement hanging in my office today. It hung in my room my whole life. And recently I hung it in my office to remind me where I've come from. I went to college in North Carolina at Wake Forest. I graduated in 2008 with a degree in history and Spanish, classic humanities majors from a liberal arts school. Then I went on to teach 5th grade in Buckeye, Arizona, which is a rural suburb of Phoenix. I was a 2008 core member with Teach for America. I taught all subjects to 5th graders for 2 years. Teaching deeply and profoundly impacted who I am today. Those were the 2 most transformative years of my life, really. I loved teaching. I loved leading those 30 or so young minds and being in the 4 walls of my classroom. Taught me about long hours, hard work, leadership, management, and public speaking. Many of the systems I use today, I honed while teaching, including monitoring my time. I ran my classroom on timers. We were a well-oiled machine. And truly, I am who I am today because of those students. After teaching in 2010, I began law school at the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. While there, I served as editor-in-chief of the Mississippi Law Journal and really honed my everlasting, lifelong love of college football, as well as good food and having and maintaining meaningful friendships. Some of my best friends in life are from those 3 years of law school. After law school, I moved to Milwaukee to clerk for Judge Pamela Pepper. She was then a bankruptcy judge in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Wisconsin. She then was nominated by President Obama for the District Court, and I served her for 1.5 years in each court. And as a result, I've called Milwaukee home since June of 2013. After my clerkship in 2016, I joined Midwest Big Law as an associate at Quarles, and in November 2020, I transitioned to Husch Blackwell as a senior associate. Today, I'm a partner at Husch Blackwell. I've been a partner for about 8 months. Husch is an AmLaw 100 firm. We have over 1,000 attorneys and a nationwide footprint. I practice general commercial litigation within our technology, manufacturing, and transportation strategic business unit. It was joining Big Law that brought on an increase in my anxiety and low mood. I sought solace at first with colleagues, therapy, and meditation. And ultimately, I began talking more openly about the need for improving well-being in the law. This started with programming while I served as president of the Young Lawyers Division for the State Bar of Wisconsin, and then as a committee chair for the Wisconsin Task Force on Lawyer Wellbeing. Most recently, I've built a platform on LinkedIn and now Twitter, posting regularly on the realities of big law and the need to destigmatize lawyer mental health and well-being. With this podcast, I aim to provide bite-sized episodes, digestible in 15 minutes or less, with practical advice and key definitions. My goal is to shed light on what it is really like to practice in Big Law and what it means to build a sustainable practice with an eye on your well-being and mental health. Season 2 will premiere on September 24th. Until then, I encourage you, if you haven't already, to check out Season 1, where I defined Big Law, defined and talked about tracking the billable hour, and tried to provide concrete tips and tricks for managing your time and your practice so that you can succeed in Big Law and create a more sustainable path. Thank you for listening to The Grace Period, and get ready for Season 2 premiering on September 24th. Remember, you don't have to sacrifice your well-being for career success. By prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, and seeking support, you can survive and even thrive in the law and in Big Law. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. That is the path to our grace period. Disclaimer: this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute professional advice of any kind, including legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is created by listening to this podcast.